Some people might say creativity is similar to supermarket shopping. Why might that be? Well, there's one word: constraint. Let's say you're dieting, then you're going to be restricting yourself from a range of foods, and therefore you're going to get creative. You're going to make new meals and make new plans, and we'll make better food. But let's say you've got no constraint, so you go straight to the frozen aisle and get whatever comes to mind. Yes, you're still eating the same food, but it's so much worse. You get no more flavours, and you're having a far worse product compared to what you would have had if you had restraint. I'm in Wellington over the next couple of days, and Fujifilm have let me use the new XS20 and the 8mm. I've got just the one camera and just the one lens, so by having only one choice, I'm going to be expanding my creativity. It sounds backwards, but it works. And unfortunately my audio cut out, so I'm just going to run through as I'm speaking as well onto the video. By not focusing my energy on switching between multiple lenses, it means that I'm cutting out on extra variables and can focus more on elements inside the image. Such as behind me with the red tree, I can focus on having the street light centered and actually giving a bit more life into the image. And then focusing on different angles and what makes the tree look best and filling the entire frame. By having just one lens, it meant that I was only focused on what I had and didn't need to worry about switching other lenses, which would have wasted time when shooting as well. I went down to Cuba Street and got a few more photos on my walks and just scroll through them now. When you're shooting, creative restrictions is actually a level of freedom which you don't otherwise get. If you had all the gear in the world, you'd be more focused on which gear to use than the actual shots. I really want to push my limits by getting an ultra-wide perspective in an environment where you really want to get macro and close-ups. Let's see how it turns out. So we're just at this old house just behind me, and it's really cool using the 8mm to get an ultra-wide shot of the sun peeking through the leaves. And so getting low, and actually just by having one focal length means that I can push my creative limits and try new things, because I mean that's what photography is all about. The thing about this 8mm is that while it's super wide, it also focuses super close, so that means that you can get really interesting looking macro shots. So just behind me I've got these flowers and can have a really good foreground subject, and then in the background show a lot of the environment as well, which creates a really unique image. The great thing about being stuck on one focal length is that it means that you're forced to think about new situations. So right behind me, I've got a river with a waterfall, and honestly it's incredible, but the great thing that I wouldn't have thought about is that actually shooting straight down gives me such an appealing image as well. By zooming in and getting real tight to the waterfall, I wouldn't have thought about that. But since I'm only on the 8mm, I don't have to worry about switching lenses, so I'm just thinking about new image possibilities. Meaning, I'm going to get more unique shots. We've just been exploring Te Papa, and we're at the Mataahu Collective, which is a Māori art collection exhibition here. And just under a canopy actually made of fasteners, which is really cool. I just got told to try turn on the flash, so just chucked on the onboard flash on the XS20, which is powerful enough and gave a really cool looking image with the light reflecting off some of the beams. Super cool just having the one lens and pushing my creativity so that I'm able to try new perspectives and new images, and the XS20 and the 8mm has been catching up really well with a lot of it. It's good. That's where photography comes into all of this. You're going to have a far better result by having less choice in the gear that you use, and in general, are going to grow far more because of it. It's better to have less If you can do more with less, it means you've got to do far more with more. So when shopping, you don't want to be like me. You don't want to pick the first thing and get boring results. You want to push yourself more. And you don't want your images, certainly, to look like a frozen pizza. So that's it for my first video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Looking at the photos, I'm really happy with the one looking down at the lake and the little villa at the Wellington Botanical Gardens. And I think the quote, "creativity loves constraint," really sums up the whole idea that you, in order to have new and updated ideas, you first need to restrict yourself in some way. It was really fun shooting this video in Wellington, and that's the first video in the New Zealand Notebook series. So yeah, please let me know what you think. New video coming out every fortnight, and so yeah, I will see you in 2 weeks time. Have a good one.